The Yakuza series, for those who don't know, has transitioned into adopting a localization title that's a little closer to its original Japanese counterpart, Like a Dragon. They started implementing this change in the last entry in the main series, Yakuza Like a Dragon. And now, Like a Dragon Gaiden serves as a short bridge between that previous entry in the series and the upcoming new entry, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, coming out in January 2024. But is it worth your time? Or should you just wait for Infinite Wealth? Let's find out. This is the video version of our review article linked below. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, unlike the long title, is a short story that expounds on the circumstances surrounding the return of Kiryu during Ichiban's story in Yakuza Like a Dragon. Kiryu, now under a new alias, Joryu, since faking his death, is under the watchful eyes of the Daidoji to make sure he stays quote-unquote dead, and that no one finds out he's still alive, all the while putting his exceptional skills to use by making Kiryu do odd jobs for them. One day, while doing a security job, a bunch of masked assailants rush into the scene to try to take Hanawa, Kiryu's keeper and manager. During the scuffle, one of the masked men recognizes Kiryu. No surprises there, Clark Kent. Kiryu then manages to drive off the assailants and prevent Hanawa's kidnapping. Hanawa, suspecting this to be the work of the Yakuza, sends Kiryu out to investigate, while Kiryu also worries about his secret coming to light. This marks the beginning of Kiryu's return to the underworld. The story starts strong by immediately throwing us into the thick of the mystery and intrigue. Throughout the development of the story, they manage to keep us on edge and having us wanting to see what happens next, right up until the end. While short at around 10 hours, it has all the things that you'd want from a Like a Dragon story: action, intrigue, and drama. We see a reaffirmation of what makes Kiryu the legendary Dragon of Dojima, a man with fists of steel, unbreakable willpower, and a heart of gold. The ending also, personally, made me cry. 'Cause man, Kiryu's been through so much. I just want to see him be happy. And I really hope we get to see that in Infinite and... There's a healthy amount of interesting new characters that also make their appearance. Hanawa and Akame especially. They both serve as your guide but are very different characters. Hanawa takes on the guide role at the start, while Akame takes over later on. Hanawa plays the role of a cold, calculating partner to Kiryu, while Akame serves as the brighter, more upbeat one. Both add a fun range of color to Kiryu's story, with Hanawa being on the cooler side and Akame, true to her name and fashion, paints her interactions with Kiryu with a bright splash of red. However, this isn't the Like a Dragon to play as your gateway into the series. This entry into the Yakuza series is more of a love letter to fans and to Kiryu's journey. As such, there will be a lot of references to his story in previous games as the beloved protagonist of the series. It also picks up from a fairly complicated point in his life. The amount of factions, complex schemes, and characters that you have to keep in mind in order to keep up with the story might be a little too much for someone who isn't familiar with the franchise. But for someone who has kept up with Kiryu's journey, it is a wonderful and emotional last hurrah for the legendary Dragon of Dojima. The gameplay is par for the course when it comes to the Like a Dragon series, prior to the switch to the RPG-style combat of Kasuga Ichiban's adventures in the last game. You've got all the things that you'd want: brawls, subquests, and mini-games. The brawls are also what you'd expect from a game from a franchise. You go around punching your way through all the problems that life throws at you. Truly, the sound of bones breaking is the melody of the Song of Life. But it does spice up the brawls by giving you the ability to switch between two fighting styles, Agent and Yakuza. The Agent style utilizes moves that Kiryu learned while working with Daidoji. It's a lot more technical compared to Kiryu's usual way of fighting and more resembles Yagami's Kung Fu. That's not all. You can also augment your brute strength with Agent gadgets. At the start of the game, we have Spider by default, a device that lets you deploy a wire that you can use in a variety of ways. In battle, it lets you bind enemies and also throw them around. Kinda reminds you of another game that was released just recently. As you progress through the game, you'll find new gadgets to have fun with and test on unsuspecting thugs. Yakuza style, on the other hand, is Kiryu's usual thuggish style that focuses on brutalizing enemies with sheer force. Both styles also have their own upgrades that you can buy from the menu. While both styles are fun to use and each has its own use case, the fights happen quite often around town, and unless you're fighting a boss, the brawls are gonna get fairly stale after a while. You will eventually find your own kind of workflow for taking down the riffraff around town and just stick with it for the most part. However, there is an arena. What is a Like a Dragon game without an arena? There are a lot of interesting things to explore in the arena. Other than regular battles and tournaments where you fight enemies one-on-one, you can also have Hell Team Battle. The arena mode allows you to go into the arena with a team to fight against an enemy group for an all-out brawl fest. The fighters you need to fill up your team can be recruited by talking to people around town, or the castle, or by doing certain side quests. And if you had pre-purchased the game, you can have legendary Yakuza fight alongside you like Majima, Saejima, and Daigo as part of the pre-order bonuses. Other than fighting, there is the side questing that the series is so very affectionately known for. Apart from the usual fetch quests around town that you'll be doing, there are also requests that you can take on through Akame. These requests range from making wholesome connections around Sotenbori to taking care of the trash human beings that prey on the people of the town, to just signature wacky Yakuza hijinks. While the main story itself is quite short, side questing will surely keep your attention as well, especially the more comedic ones. Some side quests reference various points in the series' history, and the avid fans are sure to love these throwbacks, like Etsuko, the untamed leopard of Sotenbori. You'll also find yourself wanting to do them as a fairly fast way to get lots of money to upgrade your combat skills too. And of course, you can't forget the many minigames that Ryuga Gotoku Studios fill their games with. There is no shortage of things to do around town. You can hang out with Keisan at the cabaret, or play darts with Akame. And doing a playthrough without 100%ing Bakami Tai on the karaoke is just... You can even dress Kiryu up. As a big throwback to Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami, they even revived the Pocket Circuit Racing minigame, where you build and customize motorized cars to race around these little mini tracks. The arcades are also basically a retro Sega game emulator within a game, with titles like Sega Racing Classic 2 and Virtua Fighter 2. Again, the story is short, but there are still a lot of ways to squeeze more fun out of Like a Dragon Gaiden with all these activities to do. Like how you'd have a lot of video game content to go through if you click that subscribe button. The Like a Dragon series has always been known for looking good. Everyone used to point out how detailed the characters' faces were, and how needlessly detailed this bread-eating scene was. And now, there are further improvements to the graphics, and it looks even more amazing. Right from the start of the game, we are already treated to the upgraded graphics, with how good the lighting looked in the cutscene and in the brawl that immediately followed it. As usual, their depiction of real places is astounding. Most of the game occurs in Sotenbori, the fictional equivalent of Dotonbori in Osaka. And it's almost a one-to-one depiction that it makes you feel like you're actually walking the streets of Dotonbori as you play. And when the game takes place in locations that aren't real, like a castle, they do their best to make it stand out and as unique as they can. And we can't forget the very immersive cabaret experience. The voice acting is also great. There was some controversy with Yonghae coming in as Kiryu's voice. We can't speak for the English voice as it's not out yet, but the Japanese voice acting is amazing as always. Takeya Kuroda delivers a spectacular performance as Kiryu as expected. He goes all out for Kiryu's second to last hurrah and delivers a terrific range of emotions as Kiryu. From his stoic one-liners to tear-jerking dialogue. As for the new characters, Akame particularly stood out for us. As an Osakan herself, Uika's Kansai accent is very natural. And as a singer, her performance in the karaoke is just amazing. The music also does an amazing job of enhancing the mood. When a big fight is about to happen, it does its job of letting you know that it's about to go down, with it slowly building up heavy guitar riffs. And when things get emotional, a soft piano melody graces your ears.
自分を貫いて死んでいった人たちが大勢いる。
There are also some returning songs, like the iconic subquest songs that signal to the player that some wacky shenanigans are afoot. We would be wrong to not also mention the karaoke songs. Not only are they great songs by themselves, but they stay true to the game's overall theme by signifying some important part of Kiryu's life. Overall, Like a Dragon Gaiden is an amazing game for those who love the series. While it doesn't really add much to the established formula of the Like a Dragon series, the game was made more to reminisce on Kiryu's story, and anything that would be too big of a change would have gotten in the way of that nostalgia. The game wraps Kiryu's journey up in a nice, action-packed, fan service-heavy, and emotionally charged bow. While the game isn't the best to pick up if you're new to the series, it's great for longtime fans who want to play as Kiryu in his iconic brawler-style gameplay one last time, before he fully hands the series over to Kasuga Ichiban. The gameplay is fun and jam-packed with things to do, despite the shorter than usual main story. That's why Like a Dragon Gaiden gets a solid 8 from us. With this amazing tribute and conclusion to Kiryu's journey, we can finally look forward to infinity and beyond. So what do you think of Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name? Do you think the story did Kiryu justice? Are you looking forward to Infinite? Let us know in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want more video game related content, and we'll see you in the next one.
またな。